The headlines: Edo Deputy Governor Shuaibu impeached. The federal government plans 3 national ID cards for 104 million Nigerians. Lagos court orders remand of Emefiele in EFCC custody. And away from Nigeria, Mozambique boat sinking, death toll rises to 96. Hello and Trust News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and now the details. Now, the governor of the state, Shuaibu, has been impeached by the House of Assembly. The lawmakers removed Shuaibu, who has been having a battle with Governor Godwin Obaseki on Monday morning. Shuaibu had refused to honor invitations extended to him by the 7-man panel, which investigated allegations against him. After his refusal, the panel led by Justice S.A. Omonwa retired, wrote a report and recommended his removal, saying Shuaibu declined the opportunity for defense. Counsel to the former Deputy Governor, Professor Oladoyin Awoyale San, had withdrawn from participating in the proceedings after the panel ruled against his motion. Awoyale had urged the to comply with a federal high court Abuja that ordered the panel to show cause on why an interlocutory injunction to maintain status quo on the proceeding of the petition pending the determination of the case should not be granted to the plaintiff. All right, away from that, the stakeholders of the Nigerian Labour Congress will today meet to take a decision on the leadership crisis rocking the Labour Party and the return of Julius Abore as the party's national chairman. Among other things, a caretaker committee is being proposed by the unionists to take over the control of the opposition party. The development comes in a wake of a failed attempt by the party of trustees to wrest the power from Abure and take over the LP. A few days ago, a group of retired workers under the aegis of the Lagos Assembly on Labour, Veterans and Trade Unionists protested and demanded an immediate resignation of the party chairman. The federal government is set to launch 3 new national identity cards in May this year and has a target of providing them for about 104 million citizens across the country. The 3 new national identity cards planned by the National Identity Management Committee include a bank-enabled national ID card, a social intervention card, and an optional ECOWAS national biometric identity card. The technical advisor, media and communications to the Director General of NIMSI, Ayodele Babalola, said Nigerians would start getting the 3 national ID cards within 1 or 2 months of the launch. He, however, said the launch date was subject to the approval of the presidency. A Lagos State Special Offences Court sitting in Ikeja on Monday remanded the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, following his arraignment for alleged abuse of office. Justice Rahman Oshodi made the remand order after Emefiele and his co-defendant, Harry Omoile, pleaded not guilty to a 26-count charge bordering on abuse of office brought against them by the EFCC. Emefiele would have to remain behind bars until Thursday, when the judge will determine his bail application. The judge, however, remanded Omoile in the custody of the Nigerian Correctional Services. Before the court's ruling, Emefiele's lawyer Abdul Karim Ladi Lawal had urged the court to admit his client to bail on self-recognition or on the most liberal terms. Now, joining us live in our studio here to discuss the unfolding events happening in Edo State, we have Clement. He is working with the Daily Trust newspaper here. Good morning, good afternoon, rather, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Indeed, it's good to have you. So, what is your reaction, to this development, and what does it say about the political situation in Edo?
Oh well. The development in Edo is just a culmination of things that have happened since last year. It's been obvious since last year that the relationship between the deputy governor who has just been impeached, Philip Shuaibu, and his governor has fallen apart. And the outcome of the primary election for the governorship ticket of the party also threw the feud into more open space for everybody to see. And last week, when the State Assembly, about 2 weeks ago, when the State Assembly asked the Chief Judge to set up a panel to investigate Shuaibu for alleged misconduct and revealing state secrets, it was obvious that the process that has been kickstarted is going to be seen to fruition. Don't forget, when the crisis started with Obaseki earlier last year, before the Assembly could even start the process of impeachment, Shuaibu went to court and stopped the process. But this time around, he went to court, and the court refused on 2 occasions to stop the Assembly from carrying out his impeachment proceeding. But the court said, okay, ask these people to come and give me reasons why I should not grant that injunction. So when the panel started sitting last week, the news around was that the counsel for Shuaibu went to meet the panel and told the panel that, okay, there is this order of the court that you should come and show injunction. But the panel overruled him, and since then he stopped appearing. The panel, from records that we have, gave Shuaibu about 2 or 3 opportunities to come and defend himself, and by Friday, when the former deputy governor did not show up, they made their decision and wrote their report, and that was what came to fruition at the House of Assembly this morning when they announced that the deputy governor has been impeached. This is not, it's only those that are not really familiar with how state governance is run that will be surprised with this. It's not the first time we'll be having this. From my record, we have at least about 10, this would make the 10th deputy governor that has been impeached so far. We have, if I can just run through some of the deputy governors that have been impeached, we have Ali Olanusi in Ondo State, we have Rauf Olaniyan in Oyo State, Jude Agbaso in Imo, Eze Madumere in Imo, Garba Gadi in Bauchi, Perebo Ebebi in Bayelsa, Aliu Guso just 2 years ago in Zamfara, Simon Achuba in Kogi, and Sunday Oyebuchi in Enugu. All these are deputy governors that have had issues with their principals, and at the end of the day, the State Assembly, as most people have been saying, play the role that the governors want them to play by instituting this impeachment process. So to answer your question straightforward, it does not come as a surprise, because everyone knew that the time has been ticking from the beginning when the crisis started, and the crisis was nothing more than Shuaibu's ambition to succeed the governor and the governor's preference of another candidate for the position.
Which is really a sad situation. You would agree with me on that one. It's like the freedom of coming out to even exercise your rights is being taken away from you. All right, so this has happened before. I mean, you mentioned, you even listed some names in many instances. But what will be the repercussions, especially in a state where elections are just around the corner and Shuaibu has truly shown his own interest?
Well, for Shuaibu, this is not the end of the road, because like I said, this is not the first time impeachment is happening, and in about 6 out of these 9 that have, 5 or 6 out of these 9 that I've mentioned that have happened in the past, the court came out to nullify the impeachment process. But you know, as it is in Nigeria, once the impeachment is done, even if the court is going to nullify, it's going to take a while, and for Edo State now, the election is around the corner by September. This administration is going to round up before the end of the year. So even if Shuaibu is to get court judgment, there's still a lot of process, High Court, Court of Appeal, and most likely, if they are not satisfied, they can appeal further. So this is a long process, it's a long legal battle that has been drawn out in Edo. But like, to answer your question, being an election year, it has just made the whole water to become more muddled up, because Shuaibu is expected to take some actions now to show that he still has some supporters, he still has some loyalists, and some people are already suggesting that he might even team up with the opposition candidate, that is the APC candidate, and work against the PDP in the state. So it's still a long drum battle. The end has not been, is not even close to the end at the moment.
But do you think this would affect his political career?
Well, some analysts have already said it's even a good decision. It's a good development for Shuaibu to be impeached. And the reasoning for how they reason along this line is that most likely it's better for you to leave the scene with a bang. You can come back maybe in 2027 or no 2028, when they will be having the next election. You can come back. You have, over the years, you will have gathered a lot of sympathy than for you to just take it calm and just let it slide. So for his own political ambition, he's still a young person. 4 years along the line, anything can still happen. He will still most likely use this to groom his support base. But if history is anything to go by, it's obvious that I think, apart from the case of I can't even remember any case offhand where an impeached deputy governor has come back to rule the state. So most likely, it's almost likely like a death sentence in the political arena.
Indeed. A really sad situation. We'll just have to wait and see how everything pans out. Thank you so much, Clement, for joining us to give us your insight. Clement, a Daily Trust political desk. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, moving on from that, as Muslims worldwide prepare for Eid al-Fitr celebrations, about the traders in Lagos are facing a low turnout of customers purchasing commodities for the occasion. They attribute this decline to the current economic challenges in the country and the increase in prices of goods, which have deterred people from buying items for the celebration as they normally would. Trust TV's Abbas Lalibi now reports.
During the Eid al-Fitr celebration in Lagos, traders typically expect increased sales and bustling activities. However, some are experiencing a different scenario this year, with a noticeable low turnout of customers in their market. This downturn in customer traffic has left them lamenting, as they usually rely on this period for increased sales and revenue.
Market is not moving now because things are very expensive. We are all sitting, doing nothing. We are just looking. People will not celebrate Salah as they used to celebrate Salah before, because things are very hard now. There's no money. Everybody is suffering. At least before, by this time now, when we sell markets, we will be very happy. But now everybody is very sad. There's no money. We are just suffering. Please, government should please help us. We are suffering.
Kai, yanzu a Nigeria ba a magana araha, sai dai sauki in ka samu abin si.
Now in the country, inflation has impacted every commodity as prices skyrocket, and not many people can afford to buy.
Yanayin kaso tamu ya gwada Esther ma ba mu ciniki da yawa ba. To sallah ma ba mu san abin da Allah zai yi ba.
We still have hope and pray to sell more during Eid than what we experienced during the recent Easter celebration. Muazu Idris, the chairman of the Traders Union in Okeado Market, announced that at the start of the month of Ramadan, he convened a meeting with all sectors leaders, where they collectively agree to reduce the price of all commodities to alleviate the financial strain on the masses. If you visit our market, you will notice that our prices are cheaper compared to other markets. As market leaders, we strive to offer the lowest possible price on all food items attracting customers who seek affordability. This strategy encourages people to choose our market for their purchases. Chickens and other types of birds are typically in high demand just before the Eid al-Fitr celebration. However, Mrs. Egbe Kunle, who sells chicken and other birds, lamenting the low turnout of customers during the period.
The price has gone up, especially the layers. Before the Easter, we were selling a layers 5,500, 6,000, but now the price has gone up. We cannot even say how much we are going to sell it by Salah, depending on what they bring for us. You know, we sell based on what our supplier brings for us.
The traders are hopeful of attracting more customers to purchase the goods they have displayed for the Eid al-Fitr Salah celebration. Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
Here, what's news update coming up? Experts cautions against declining mental health. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is Trust News Update. Here's a recap of our top stories. Edo Deputy Governor Shuaibu impeached. And federal government plans 3 national ID cards for 104 million. Now moving on to more stories. The civil servants are encouraged to engage in farming and other agricultural activities to enhance their economic status. Technocrats believe that such endeavors would offer significant benefits to civil service-dominated states like Benue, particularly in terms of economic growth and prosperity. Jimmy Sunday tells us more.
Farming represents the primary business opportunity available to civil servants. However, many workers fail to take advantage of this opportunity, which is concerning given the current economic climate in Nigeria.
Agriculture is the only enterprise as a civil servant you are expected to be doing. You are not supposed to venture in any other business apart from agriculture. And you cannot just jump into any business, particularly towards the ending or maybe during the time you retire. If you are already working as a farmer or whichever form of agriculture you are doing, by the time you retire, it will seamlessly translate into the agricultural sector easier because you are already part of it. You've been working there and you know what to do.
The residents believe that Governor Hyacinth Alia has implemented favorable policies for the revival of agricultural economy within the Benue Civil Service. They emphasize the importance of civil servants making judicious use of these opportunities.
Based on the plans being introduced or established by the Executive Governor of Benue State here, His Excellency Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Alia, I wish and I'm advising all civil servants to engage into agricultural produce. Currently, a bag of grain is sold at the price of 50, 60, 70,000 naira. Assuming you are able to have 5 bags of rice, 5 bags of benefit, you know how much is there.
To improve food security, they urge every resident of Benue to own farmland, with civil servants leading the way in championing the initiative.
People are making good fortune from the farm. Unfortunately, for security reasons, it has become a little bit difficult now. But if you are opportune to be in a place where the security is not that worse, you might be doing 1 or 2 things on your farm and you'll get a lot from it.
With little support from government, this is the season. This is the farming season. So if the government can now say fertilizer subsidy, seeds subsidy, some of these agrochemicals subsidy, by November you will see what will happen in Benue.
Experts in the farming industry suggest that if civil servants engage in farming, they can move beyond relying solely on meager salaries for survival. They also call on the government to provide incentives and security for the farming population in Benue State. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Amidst Nigeria's economic challenges occasioned by fuel subsidy removal and economic instability, A medical expert has emphasized the importance of regular brain checkups to detect and address conditions such as depression, dementia, and memory loss. The report.
The year 2020 ushered in a global health crisis with spread of the deadly COVID-19 disease. Wreaking havoc on economics worldwide, Nigeria was not spared from its effects. Despite efforts by both administrations of former President Muhammadu Buhari and current leader Bola Ahmed Tinubu, many Nigerians continue to struggle with the adverse impacts of a faltering economy. Among the grievances aired by citizens is the persistent challenge of expensive and unreliable power supply, exacerbating the economic strain faced by individuals and businesses alike.
As at now, the situation is not even favorable. As many people that are passing by now, you may see many people going down now. Some people, it's by the grace of God that they are working.
It seems the government is unaware of the hardship Nigerians are facing. It has become very difficult for most households to afford 3 square meals a day.
So I think the government should have a kind of proactive measures to be able to arrest the situation. And also, those that are trying to sabotage the effort of the government should be called to order. There are those that don't allow the farmers to go to the market. Once they are apprehended, they should be brought to book. That is it.
Amid escalating challenges such as inflation and unemployment, which have led to many Nigerians struggling to afford 3 square meals, Dr. Temitope Farombi, Chief Executive Officer of All Health and Consultant Neurologist at the University College Hospital, UCH, has urged Nigerians to prioritize regular brain checkups to guard against depression stemming from the country's economic hardship.
The situation in Nigeria is common to all, so just focus on your own little bit and don't carry the problem of the whole nation on your head or on your shoulder. So at least you can sleep at night, because you need your sleep to improve your memory and your cognition and also your mood in the morning. So you can sleep well at least 6 to 8 hours in the night, and that will prevent you from having a headache. And also, it's important for you to check your blood pressure, to check your blood sugar, to check your cholesterol, because I don't want people to come to me with stroke.
The Nigerian government is urged to implement mechanized relief policies and subsidies within the health sector to enhance socio-economic development.
On the international scene, the death toll from the sinking of a makeshift ferry boat off the north coast of Mozambique has risen to 96. Local authorities said the converted fishing boat carrying about 130 people ran into trouble on Sunday as it was trying to reach an island of Nampula province. Authorities said the boat was believed to have sunk as it was overcrowded and unsuited to carrying passengers. According to Nampula's Secretary of State, Jaime Neto, most of those on board were trying to escape the mainland because of a panic caused by disinformation about cholera. Rescuers have found 11 survivors and search operations are underway. Kenya and Central African Republic are set to strengthen economic ties following a 24-hour visit of President William Ruto to Bangui over the weekend. The Kenya leader held talks in Bangui with the President Faustin Archange Touadera. It was the first time a Kenya head of state had visited the country. Accompanied by his wife, President Ruto praised efforts by President Touadera to bring about a gradual return to peace in the country that has been plagued by conflict since 2013. President Ruto paid tribute to the resilience of the people of the Central African Republic and said they hoped that this would start a genuine rapprochement, building cooperation and benefited both countries. Well, that so expected to make a major contribution to the car in terms of energy. And with that, we wrap up Trust News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.